All right, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Open Live Q&A. My name is Mr. McLogan, and this is week number 138. Thank you so much for joining me this evening for my live stream, where I will go ahead and take your questions, and then also let you guys know about my new recent kind of course that I'm also letting you guys in on is for getting ready for pre-calculus. So this is something that I've used inside of the classroom for many times, and I kind of revamped it. I added a lot of extra things that I think is really going to benefit you, the student, especially obviously if you're taking pre-calculus. And so I'm really excited to let you guys know about it and go ahead and check it out and see if it's a right fit for you. So you can definitely, if you're interested, I'll be popping the link many times in there, but it is pinned in the comment section as well as also in my description. So if you are interested to, kind of see the details, like what are you actually going to cover about getting ready for pre-calculus, I will talk a little bit more about that in the live stream. And then obviously we'll get to some math questions, but then also just want to say hello to Sariam. I am doing very well today. Thank you so much. And Alexa, hello, how are you? I am doing so well. Thank you so much for joining me in. And Nick, Tech Me Pez. Okay, I'm not really sure from there. And Madeline, good to have you on. Velocity, hello. And Peyton, I am glad you are ready and on. And Deja Vu, hello. Welcome in, guys. And there was another person that was, I can't remember what they were joining on, but they had something where they were, why is this not, it's so weird how it's like delayed from on there. Okay. And hey, Brandon, good to have you on. And can you get a shout out to my friend, Christian Perez? Yes, Christian. What's up, Christian? How are you? I have pre-calc semester 2. Ooh, interesting. So that's kind of interesting. So maybe you took pre-calculus, I guess maybe 1, or maybe you're retaking semester 2. I guess, or maybe that's interesting. I've never seen semester 2 from there, but Benjamin, yes, I can definitely help you with pre-algebra. At least that's my goal. A lot of things that I'm working on for this upcoming year is also recreating a lot more tests from on there. So, or a lot more, not a lot more tests, a lot more content. So I'm definitely going back through and reproducing a lot of the content that I've created in the past, and also made in some newer videos. So I will let you guys know about those as they're coming down the pipeline. But hopefully you guys, if you maybe noticed last week, or maybe not, my upload schedule has kind of increased. And that's one thing that I have kind of made the point that I really want to do is kind of, I think for the last 2 years, I went down to like one upload a week, and it was kind of weird. It really was. I mean, obviously COVID affected that. Like I can only make so many videos without a mask, right? And then last year when I was, stepped away from the classroom, it was kind of hard to create so much content, or I just wasn't used to it, from on there. Cause I was obviously trying to like get some editing and stuff like that. And yeah, so it's kind of difficult, but I'm really kind of excited to, kind of get back into producing more and more content. And that's going to allow me to kind of go back through a lot of the courses that I haven't taught, in the years prior. So let's kind of get into how that, how that ties into the pre-calculus, because I think one of the things I see a lot of students are talking about, like, hey, they're getting, I start school next week, or, in 2 weeks, or, maybe we're like 2 weeks in. And one thing that always kind of like stuck out to me, I remember when, students would, they'd always come in and say, oh, like I always feel like, I did the summer packet, but it was just a lot of like busy work, right? Or, it's like, I want a big grade. And I remember when I first gave like a summer packet, or, something like that, that students would, it was kind of like this entitlement of like, it was either I spent a lot of time doing this work and like I deserve a grade, or it was like I copied a lot of these answers and it took a lot of time. One thing and I was victim of that as a teacher as well. I remember my first summer packet, I didn't know any better when I was first a teacher. I would just give them a ton of problems, and it's like, do it, like over the summer, like you don't have anything better to be doing. And I'm not against summer packet. I mean, that's basically what my get ready course is kind of like a summer packet idea. But there's a little bit of difference the way that I approach it, because what I found out is when I was just giving like a summer packet and like giving kids a grade for it, one, a lot of the summer packet didn't really like, it didn't really correlate to how students did, right? The students that actually did not need to be doing it were the ones that did it, right? The ones that did not really need the grade were the ones that got the grade. The students that I really needed to be doing it, they didn't do it. And maybe the ones that really that grade would help them, again, they still were not really doing it for that benefit. So there's kind of like this disconnect and with the student and the summer packet. And, their grades would always be skewed. I remember a couple times I gave them big grades because it would be a lot of problems, like a decent, between a quiz and a homework grade. And but again, it really made no impact on how well they were going to be or how successful they're going to be throughout the year. So one thing that kind of came to me was I really want my students to do this work. I really want them to be prepared for pre-calculus. What is something that I can do for them to help them be prepared? And what I decided was, rather than just giving them a whole bunch of busy work, for them to do during the summer, which they're probably not going to do anyways, why don't I just every chapter, I just design exactly what I want them to know, exactly what's going to prepare them for each of those chapters, and then just kind of combine them together as one packet. And therefore, if they want to do it during the summer, they can, right? I understand some students have a little extra free time. Maybe they're not, and they are studying maybe some other courses and they're like, hey, I can get this done. Or, maybe they're traveling and or sports or whatever, and they're just busy throughout the whole summer. And they're during the year, they'll be able to focus and get it done. And that's what I started doing inside the classroom. I would give out the summer packet, and then the students that had it done, I would collect it, right? And I would give them grades, throughout the rest of the year. But also if a student just wanted to do it chunk by chunk throughout the year, I was more than happy to accept it, that way as well. But the other thing that I think was really important is when you're in the summer, when you're separated from education or in math class, a lot of things you're going to forget. You're not going to remember a lot of things, and it can be frustrating. I remember obviously when I went through, high school and college, I didn't have the internet to really rely on to find answers. So I remember that frustrating of I don't know how to do this, or I don't remember this kind of aspect. So the other thing that I think is really important when you're trying to review stuff is to have access to the answers, and not only access to the answers, but written out solution. And I know now it's not really as big of a deal as it was, but pre-COVID, that's exactly what I decided to do. I was like, hey, I'll give them this worksheet. Hey, it's going to be some problems, but guess what? I'm going to give you the answers. I'm going to record myself, and I'm going to give you a video explanation, because there's really no excuse that I want that you do not, why you do not understand some of these concepts. I want to make sure that you have all of this stuff turned in. And again, believe it or not, there'd still be students that wouldn't do it. Which again, to each their own, I guess, how you want to get through the year. But I will say that I had way more buy-in from students that when I created this get ready for pre-calculus in this kind of format. So therefore it's kind of chunked along. And then also the idea of not having to oh, I'm not going to remember this stuff, or let me make sure I really understand what I'm doing, not just I know how to get the answers. And that's why I provided all of the, that's why I provide all those, video explanations and everything like that. So, if you are interested in the Get Ready for Pre-Calculus course, that is exactly what it kind of is. It really is 8 sections combined together, where you can treat them as a summer packet if you want to. Or you could also treat it as a kind of course to kind of make sure as you're going throughout the year, you can review problems and review stuff. And obviously this year I wanted to do something a little bit more. I know that one thing I have not offered in previous years is also my skills package that I wanted to offer to students and stuff like that, where, a lot of times when students struggle in pre-calculus, there's usually usually probably 8 things I could guarantee is going to be one of the reasons why you struggle. And so what I decided was, well, for one of those 8 things, I'm going to create some extra practice that I know if students go through this problem, they will be at least successful in that, maybe not all in pre-calculus, but they will be successful over that skill. And that is what I also created inside of there. And then also you guys see there's a video I did the pre-calculus in one day. So there's a lot that's inside this course. It's a lot that can get you prepared in one day, over 2 hours, and get you ready. Or, obviously you can spread things out from on there. So either way, if you guys are interested in there, go ahead and take a look. Again, I think I have I do have the link pinned in the comment, and it's also in my description. But let me go and get back to some of your guys' questions. Hello, Brian. I got a 30 out of 32. Awesome. On pre-calculus fundamentals. That's awesome. That's really good. So, and also just a reminder, if you're like, hey, I'm not really, school's already started. I'm not sure if the pre-calculus course is what I want to do. Because obviously it's not free. I do have a free diagnostic course. And at least for a diagnostic exam, that if there's anything you could do, I would highly recommend at least doing that. I mean, again, that is free. And I believe it is also inside of the Get Ready for Pre-Calculus course. So I did leave that in there. So obviously if you go through the Get Ready for Pre-Calculus course, you get the diagnostic exam as well. So don't worry about that. But if you just want to like, hey, I just want to kind of see if I'm ready and where I kind of stand for pre-calculus, then go ahead and check out the diagnostic exam. I believe that's also in the description. I do not remember if I left that in. I do not think I did. Yeah, so it's in the description. I don't think I put it. Nope, not for that one. Oh, that's kind of interesting. Anyway, so I did not put that. I did not put that as an overlay for you guys to get on that. So, but yeah, I definitely recommend. Actually, you know what? I'll put it in the chat for you. So therefore, if anybody does want to check out the diagnostic exam, again, the diagnostic exam is absolutely free, and it's actually first. I don't know why. Let me actually put that. Get Ready for Pre-Calculus course. Put that in front, obviously. So that's the name of this video. Duh. There you go. So that's a diagnostic test. If you guys want to go ahead and, get that out, like there's a fundamentals one to kind of see how prepared you are. And then there's also a, kind of, can you handle pre-calculus, kind of like a pre-test idea. And that's a great one to kind of take now to kind of see where you kind of stand, like with pre-calculus material. And then also to test yourself at the, kind of end of the year to see your gains. First time taking pre-calc in college. I never took calc in high school. How challenging was class B? I mean, it really depends on those fundamentals. Like, I mean, in my, like the pre-calculus course, like that's basically what we do. We don't get into anything pre-calculus or calculus based. And like the reason why I wanted to do the way that I designed it was like, I wanted to create a get ready for pre-calculus with like, assuming you don't know any pre-calculus, like just going through this exact stuff I want to know, because when I'm teaching the curriculum, I have to make sure you have some fundamental understanding that we're all kind of on the same page. So those are the exact same material that I cover in this. So when you say like, is something going to be hard or not, it really depends on like what foundation you have. Right. And so if, you can have struggled in math before and that's fine. Like, but it really just kind of depends on, I think, your strength, I would say like in college algebra or algebra 2 for you walking into pre-calculus. And it is going to vary from student to student. Well, happy to have you on. I was wondering, what should I look back at before calculus? I'm taking dual enrollment calculus. Yeah, I mean, I would just focus on, the same thing that students struggle with pre-calculus is mostly what they struggle with pre-calculus. It's the algebra. I mean, I would go back and I would just, review a lot of the algebra skills from pre-calculus, and obviously some trig as well, but like, that's usually where students are going to struggle the most is the algebra skills. Like it's just expected in pre-calculus that you remember and know those skills, and the exact same thing for calculus. Well, pre-calculus is a prerequisite, typically, or not, to prepare you for calculus A, B, and BC. And Calc AB is like Calc 1, and Calc BC would be like Calc 2. So usually in pre-calculus, we're not going to get into depth into calculus topics, but basically going to cover some upper level, algebra content, and as well as some trigonometric content in preparation for calculus. Well, awesome, right? Happy to have you on my course, and I look forward to seeing you inside the course and as well as the live streams. Hey, Pori, I do have your question. We will be getting to that as well. Yes, I will have an Algebra 2 and Algebra 1 review. Well, I can't if you have any questions, you can post them in there. And then I also, just a FYI, I'm not sure if I've got this in, but I will be doing my algebra. I think I'll do algebra 2 and pre-calculus like live streams. If you guys remember, I was doing those. I will be planning on bringing those back. And those are free live streams, different from the course. And I'll talk about my course I think I'll talk about my course next week, actually. So where is it? Yeah, Marari. I guess hopefully I said that right. So yeah, you're not early, but yeah, I haven't even. Obviously, I promoted some through the Get Ready course or Get Ready for Pre-Calculus. Like you have the opportunity to purchase it, but I'll also be offering my course. I'll also be offering my course next week on my live stream as well. Yes, that is very good. Thank you. How do you effective take math notes? That's a great question. And I would recommend that, how to effectively take, I feel like I had an answer. I've had a video basically on there, but I think having the most amount of stuff you can have kind of pre-written ahead of class is very, very important. I think looking over the material before you get to a lecture or a class is very, very important. And I also think that, not focusing in on a lot what the teacher is saying. Like the more times that you can like really be understanding or writing down like what the teacher is saying, like that's not like the traditional like, oh, just copying my notes, like that's not really going to help you. Like I think if you can always get a copy of those notes, but really to make sure that you are writing down like things like side notes. And I always used to try to do this, and I'd always try to slow down too with my instruction. But like taking a side note or like explaining things, like I think writing those things to bring context to the notes is very important, because I think for me, at least for me as a student, I would write down good notes, or at least I felt they're good notes, but I lose ideas of the context of those notes. So then when I got home or I was trying to do my homework, I was trying to like connect them and I totally forgot. So I think the more things that you can try to do to like write little notes to yourself of like what the teacher or professor is saying, or for you to remember what things mean, or how they're connected, is very helpful. I wouldn't do them all this year, but yeah, for next year, you could definitely do that. Okay. If you have a question, please post it into, any other questions, if you just want to post them into brianmclogan.com/Q&A. I'm still taking questions, so you guys can definitely go and post them on there. And then also, I know many of you are kind of joining in on, this might be your first live stream, or it's been a while since now school's back. You're like, all right, I guess I'll join this guy's live stream. He's been going live for 138 weeks now, but yeah, if you do have any questions, then you can obviously go to brianmclogan.com/Q&A. And also you can join my Discord server for that as well. And yeah, I'd highly recommend. So anyways, the Discord server is completely free. It's also a way for you to ask questions, so on and so forth. And then also, inside of, obviously in the Get Ready course, we also have a special Discord channel. And also in my pre-calculus course, we'll have a Discord channel as well. So a lot of opportunities on Discord, which I do very, very much love. And actually, oh no, I closed down. Okay. It's my first time doing well, awesome. Good luck. You're going to do awesome. And just remember, even if, I have a ton of pre-calculus content, so I'll be doing a lot of things. And obviously I'm promoting a little bit my course on today or for tonight. And I'll be promoting my course next week. But again, like the course is going to be right for some people. It's not going to be right for other people. I do want to make sure I mention though, like, that if anything that you guys ever decide to ever invest or purchase with me, this is really the only thing that I offer at this moment is my pre-calculus curriculum. But anyways, if you're, decided that's not right for you, or it's, just not the right fit, you can always, email me with 30 back money back, 30-day money back guarantee. Like I want to make sure that you're learning. I want to make sure that you are successful, and I want to make sure you're happy. So, there's nothing that's going to satisfy me of, sticking it to you to make sure that you are not happy with something that comes from me. So, but yeah, there's an area on your website. You forgot the word free. Yes, exactly. So I do have a free diagnostic test, but this one is, so actually let me talk about that a little bit, because there is, so anyways, if you actually go on my YouTube channel last week, there is a video on there where it is a Get Ready for Pre-Calculus, and it's a 2-hour stream that I did. So, hey, if you're looking for some 2-hour content, there is the free content. But in reality, like, so here's the thing. So how many students that need to get ready for pre-calculus, right, are going to watch that whole 2-hour stream, actually do all of the problems, study them, remember them, and go over them? Very, very few. Very, very few. It's a free 2-hour stream. All those questions, I think over 100 questions. I can guarantee you that very, very few students. But if you did do all the questions, and you want to email me at brian@freemathvideos.com, I will greatly appreciate and eat my words. But very, very few students are going to do all of those problems. However, for students that actually invest in the, kind of get ready for a pre-calculus course, like, you're going to get a lot more value, obviously, than a 2-hour stream. That actually 2-hour stream is inside the course, plus the actual worked out solutions for you, as well as the blank answers. But then also you're going to get like a ton more content. You're going to get it. You're basically going to get an expansive amount of that material. Again, same thing, all the work, blank, all the videos, and then even more and more content from there. But the thing is, more and more students are going to actually complete the work because they've invested in that, to like, they realize like, hey, this is going to get me ready. And that's just one thing that I've, realized that, with my students, the same thing. It's like, if I give you something, I say, don't worry about it, it's not worth a grade. Not many students are going to do their summer packet. But when I say, hey, this is worth a grade, like, you better do it, it's going to get done. Right. And that's what students did, is they got it, they got it done. If they either did it themselves or they cheated. Right. And obviously I have no skin in the game of your grade. Like, I'm just here to help you understand the material. But I know for you to understand the material, you got to be doing the work, right? You got to be practicing work. And so, yeah, that's why I wanted to make sure that as more and more students are actually going to do the work. But I did feel like the price point, I wanted to keep something that was obviously not going to like be a lot of money for somebody. But also something that was going to be like, hey, I gotta, like, if I'm going to move forward, if I'm going to actually join this course, I better be doing the stuff, right? I better do the work, right? Because what happens? Usually people will watch like a stream, they'll watch 15 minutes and they'll give up, right? They're like, oh, I should do this. I'll maybe watch this before the night before school. And then you get busy, right? And you don't do it, which is fine. But I really want students to make sure that they can be successful in pre-calculus. And that's why, I created that course, and that's why I have the pre-calculus course, and that's why I have the get ready for pre-calculus course. But I definitely appreciate that. However, is your first day doing algebra? Okay. Is it worth being an accelerated algebra class? Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it just depends on what you want to achieve, for sure. Tips on Calc 1, same tips I say for everything. Make sure you're doing your work. Doing all the work you can. Make sure when you have asking questions, get help, right? I mean, it's the same stuff, right? Get help when you need to get help, and find some other people to do the class with, like to do your homework with, to study with. Calculus is going to be the same as geometry, right? Make sure you're taking, creating cheat sheets, keeping all that stuff, reviewing constantly. It's, you're going to be okay, but, constantly be reviewing, try to set some like time so you can study, every single like kind of day, even if it's 30 minutes, highly recommend that. So I'm getting a lot with pre-calculus. So I will be creating a calculus review. I just got to get it out, and I'm sorry, I'm getting a little delayed on that. So I would definitely focus on like factoring rational functions, polynomials. Just factoring rational functions and trig. And but yeah, if you can exponents, like rules of exponents, rules of logarithms, a lot of that stuff students just kind of forget, right? So I definitely go and review a lot of that stuff to help you out. Happy to be able to help. Well, happy. Awesome. So happy to help you out. I don't know if you remember me, but I asked a question about the CBD a few weeks ago. I wanted to thank you for your help and advice and videos. I got a great start. Well, awesome. I'm so happy to help you out, Alan. I've never taught college algebra. I did take college algebra, so I can only kind of talk to you regarding that. I remember that in my experience, teaching algebra 2 was way more broad. Like, we covered a ton of topics, but we didn't go really in depth. Whereas college algebra, it was a very much the same topics. It was much more actually focused on algebra. Whereas like algebra 2, we would get into like probability, and we get into trig, and like, it's just kind of like all over the place. It was a lot of algebra, but we covered extra topics to get students kind of ready for different what their next step was. Whereas college algebra, it was very heavily focused on the algebra, and we went much more in depth. So I would say college algebra is going to go deeper, whereas algebra 2 is much more like wider. Same tips for algebra 2, ask questions, make sure you're doing your work, find some people to study with and do your homework with. Try to get some practice or something at least every night, every other night. And then when you get stuck, like make sure you get asking questions. Any tips for income senior for advanced functions? So that is kind of like very much like the PreCalc, because I think that covers a lot of our same stuff. Don't be stressed. Very easier said than done, right? But I think one of those things is like you gotta set a game plan, kind of think how you can be successful, and what you need to do, and go out and achieve it. So the Discord link is in the description of this chat, but I will post it inside why is it not in there? Oh, I must have deleted that. That's not cool. Crap. I'll go and let me go and post it up here. So join my Discord. Come on. Oh, I'm an idiot. No. Why is it? There you go. Oh, I was looking at the wrong one. All right. Hold on a second. Let me... I can't believe that... How did I lose that? I must have deleted a link when I was adding in there. I don't even have the add questions. No wonder nobody's asking me questions. Sorry about that, guys. So there's join my Discord. If you want to join the Discord, you can go right there. And then if you have questions about math, because I will be getting to some questions. There were 2 questions I had that were pre-submitted. So you can always post questions inside of the chat. But yeah, but posting questions inside the chat is not really helpful. So for me, I always prefer if you guys could actually go ahead and if you guys can submit them at brianmclogan.com/Q&A. I can't believe. I wonder how long that's been, because my questions have been low the last couple of weeks. Maybe that has something to do with it. So thank you so much for letting me know about that. I really appreciate that, because I was like, man, only 2 questions. Kids are going back to school. Like usually 2 questions is reserved for at the end of the year, nothing's going on during the summertime. All right. So there they are. They are also inside the chat. Oh, I know what I did. I think when I put them in, I'll put them in the chat as well for you guys. I might have cut them though, when I put them as a pinned comment. I'm not really sure. Maybe, who knows? But there you go. I also put them in the chat if you guys are interested. And I know, thank you. Shot my head. All right. Okay. Let's get accelerated algebra. Some interests. I am still a teacher. At least I think of myself still as a teacher. But no, I stepped away from the classroom this year, or actually last year from there. Yep, you have to put in the work, 100%. Hey, Rona, good to see you on. Happy to have you on. Yeah, I've been doing the tutoring for the last couple weeks. So yeah, definitely still doing the giveaways from the tutoring. And then we got to get to our tutor giveaway, which actually it's 9:30. So let's get on to it. So yeah, I'll be getting to the tutoring, and then also I will be doing the weekly kind of live streams, or not weekly live streams, sorry, monthly live streams. So I'm going to plan on bringing those back as well. Do you think teachers should allow notes on math tests? Depends on what you're trying to achieve and when you're taking the test. I got to turn these lights back off. Oh, I know what was wrong. I didn't even have my light on. There we go. I was wondering, I'm like, what? Why don't I look? Why does it look off? And I was like, oh, I left my lights on, and then I didn't even turn my other light on. I was wondering why it was so dark. There you go. All right, cool. So anyways, Angel, that's a really good question. I used to allow notes on like tests. I used to allow my students to have a cheat sheet. Um, and I think like from there, it just kind of depends on what I was trying to achieve. So I allowed them to use a cheat sheet on things, but then like my tests were created to be to more difficult. Like I wasn't asking like generic, not like knowledge that they could easily just regurgitate, right? But if you are trying to get like some just basic knowledge out there, then like, yeah, obviously if something that can just be passed, like that's not going to work. That doesn't make sense. So I think just really kind of depends on the test and what you're trying to achieve for the assessment. Well, awesome. Awesome, Jesus. I have a test next week. I'm not sure how to study. What is the best way I can study? I would definitely just recommend like taking all your notes, all your tests, all your quizzes, going back through, redoing some of the problems, that you got wrong. And, maybe writing down all the concepts, the definitions, putting them on a sheet of paper, which I call the cheat sheet, and kind of continuously studying that. Yeah, I don't know. I changed that up, but thank you. I just saw your comment on that. I should have done that earlier. Can you explain the real life usage of monomials, binomials, and trinomials? I mean, that's really just, if you think about this, I mean, there's a lot that going with there. Like I could always make up some kind of math stuff of like, oh, here's how things are related, stuff like that. But I mean, think about them as like, you can think of like they're like terms, right? And monomials, right, is what makes up your binomials and also what makes up your trinomials, right? Binomials can be two of them, trinomials can be three of them. So it's just going to be a set of two or three or one, monomial or some kind of term, right? So I mean, it really is a kind of foundational like math concept that we are going to apply for many, many different uses. But like just to say like, oh, this is going to be real world benefit, like I don't know there's anything that's going to be groundbreaking that you'd be like, oh yeah, that's exactly why I need to know this in real life. Like the majority of stuff that you're going to be learning is not going to be directly related to exactly something you need to know for real life. And that's just the reality of everything that we are learning, most of the stuff. I'm playing tests in Algebra 2. I did a BYU Algebra 2 course over the summer. I don't know if that is, but can you tell me how to topics for you? I have absolutely no idea, unfortunately. Sorry. I wouldn't say they require a lot, but obviously Dome is going to have a parabolic, kind of feature. So yeah. Do you think teachers should allow? Okay, I guess I'm getting maybe. Yeah, okay. Shoe polish. Just let me tell. All right. What's the mindset teachers expect for engineering? What's the mindset teachers expect for engineering mathematics? I don't know. I mean, I've never taught engineering mathematics, so not 100% go through. And yeah, by number 300 Pascals. If you do have a question, post it at brianmclogan.com/Q&A. And that's where I'll be able to take your guys' questions. All right. If you have a question, post it at there. That all depends. It really depends on what you're trying to do. Like if you're going, like where you go to university can hold some weight. I don't think many students care if I went to Western Michigan University or the University of Michigan, right? I mean, you guys care if I like make YouTube videos and can help you out with your math, right? However, there are occupations, there are professions where you kind of graduate still kind of holds some weight to it, right? So yeah, I definitely, and it might hold some weight for a little bit, right? And then after that, it kind of dissipates, right? So yeah, I wouldn't say that it doesn't matter at all. How much it matters can be up for debate, and for how long it's going to matter can be up for debate, right? Or how much worth it is could be up for debate as well. So I wouldn't overthink it. I think in the majority of things, like you shouldn't go to a college just because of what people are going to think about you going to that college, right? Or that university, whatever may be the case. Like there's definitely many, 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 many paths. You can be extremely uber successful without even going to university. So I would not put that much weight on it for that. I will actually be coming out with a review, maybe not next week, but the week after that. I'm going to try to get it really quickly. I wouldn't say it's hard and stressful career, but yeah, I mean, it definitely is hard at times and stressful. I think just like any other job from on there. So I don't think it's anything crazy over the top. I mean, obviously, the longer you become a teacher, the better you get at handling the stresses and the challenges of teaching. And some people are better cut out for it than others, right? Um, so yeah. And yeah, our school, the school at least that I taught at, we already started 2 weeks ago. Yes, I will actually be, yeah, what I've been doing is actually going to last week's live stream, and that's all you gotta do. It's a Tuesday, my trouble memorizing a lot of stuff. Algebra 2 quiz, okay. What's the right test, but I always fail them. I don't know why. I'm sure if I'm not studying the right way. Yeah, I mean, it definitely could be. And then I understand your question was like studying for it. It's like, I mean, you got practice, like over practice, over prepare for your test and give it a shot, right? Maybe for your next test or quiz, like over prepare, like maybe do like extra problems, right? Maybe your teacher's not telling you to do extra problems. Do extra problems then. Like do more problems than you expect you'd have to do, right? Go make sure you do every single problem that you got wrong, redo them. Keep on doing it until you get the problems that you got wrong right? So, over prepare for your next test. See how that goes. Well, thank you so much, Blair. I really appreciate that. Hey, I know this is off topic, but I always like these. They're a good intro. What is it good to do double up in 9th grade? Because I'm taking Algebra 2 and PreCalc, and my first day actually starts tomorrow. I mean, it really is a personal question. I really do not know where you kind of stand. I would usually say taking pre-calculus and another course is usually a very tough load for students, especially Algebra 2 and pre-calculus. I don't think I've ever had a student that has done that. And I think that might be the Algebra 2 and pre-calculus is kind of an expected that the Algebra 2, the work from Algebra 2. So I think that might be difficult. But again, for some people, some students can handle it and some students are prepared for it. So I don't want to like say that, no, you shouldn't do it or no, you can't do it. Cause I just don't know enough about your situation. But I definitely speak with your math teacher, your counselor, and your parents to make sure if it's a right decision for you. All right. Okay. So yes, if you guys do want to go through a private tutoring, a free tutoring session with myself, then all you guys simply need to do is go to last week's live stream and you guys can go to last week's live stream. And then all you guys got to do is have a comment on last week's live stream and we will do a free giveaway. So if you're wondering like, oh, I don't want to go to last week's live stream, I will be nice. And if you guys still want to go and enter it, I put it actually in the chat for you guys. So therefore, you guys can just go ahead and post it or just go to that link and just make a nice little chat or a nice little question. And again, this will be for a free tutoring session with myself. This has nothing to do with my Get Ready for Pre-Calculus course. But if you are interested for the Get Ready for Pre-Calculus course, if you're maybe just joining in on the stream, it's basically my way for getting you guys ready and prepared for pre-calculus, and basically goes through kind of 8 modules, something that you can kind of complete in 1 week. You can complete it in 4 weeks, or you can kind of break it up throughout the whole year. So I've kind of taught it many different ways. In the couple of years, I kind of broke it down into like a challenge, like working it through every single week. Every single week we did some problems. There is a ton of examples, and you don't need to have any experience other than like some Algebra 2 and Algebra 1. But again, like if my instruction is a little bit different than what you're used to, every single assignment inside the Get Ready for Pre-Calculus course has a answer sheet as well as a video recording of me going through the work. So therefore, I want to make sure that you are taken care of. And if you have any questions or any kind of concerns of like what you need to know for pre-calculus, then this is exactly what you are looking for. So I do apologize. I do not have this for every single course. That is something I am currently working on, and you guys will be seeing some content coming out of the way throughout this year on the other courses. But yeah, it's just something that I'm kind of now working through, or at least with you guys. I have pre-calculus kind of all set. I've been have tons of problems and everything else from there. Honestly, I find pre-calc harder than basic calc. Yeah, and there's a good reason for that, right? So I'll definitely be talking about that next week when I'll be talking more about my course from on there. So, all right, let's go ahead and get into that. I want to see, actually, I forgot to open up. Let's see. So anyways, the Get Ready for Pre-Calculus course, it is a pinned in the comment. It's also in the description. So if you guys are interested on that, you guys can definitely go ahead and take a link. I do want to see if there's any more math questions. Why is it not going through? Okay. because I did go through them. If I want to join the tutoring live stream, is it in every single day? No, the tutoring, I'm assuming, I'm not sure what you're talking about. Are you, Alexa, are you talking about the tutoring live stream within my course? Let me know. If you are, there is a 4-week tutoring live stream that I'm doing. That whenever you, that's for my course. So we'll talk about next week, but whenever you purchase my course for next week, then I offer like 4 weeks of free tutoring inside of that. And again, it's only once a week from there. So yeah, there's nothing daily that comes on, but that is the only time that I offer a free tutoring. Now, you could be, I'm not sure if you're talking about the 30 day or the 30-minute tutoring that comes in from joining on my last live stream. Okay, well, yeah, that's what that was referring to. Yeah, pretty much that's it. So anyways, if you want to get just a 30 minutes, it's just a one-time free tutoring with myself. All you guys got to do is go to last week's live stream, which was, I think I posted in the comments, right? If I remember correctly. Just go and post it in the comments, and yeah, there you go. So go and take that link, and last week's live stream, you guys post a comment, and therefore we'll get a winner. I just find PreCalc harder than basic calc. Yeah, I got that. Not sure what that means. And the 30 minutes. So the 30 minute is just a one-time session. So if you are the winner of the 30-minute live stream, which again, all you got to do is go to last week's live stream, post a comment. If you are the winner to that, then it's just a one-time 30-minute session with myself. And then, yes, that is all I'm offering. The free tutoring, which I forgot to mention because I am kind of closing it down. I feel like there is also, I'll mention at least one more time just to give anybody things, but there is a free tutoring that I was looking for some students to tutor throughout the whole year. However, that one had a caveat of you had to be on camera, and we're going to be doing some sessions. That is also in the description. If you are interested, go and take a look at it. There is a Google form where you have to fill out some questionnaires and then submit them over to me. So I talked about that last week and the week before. For those of you guys that were interested in that, it's a little bit different, but it is, again, another opportunity to get free tutoring for myself. But yeah, then you are going to be on camera and stuff like that. Awesome. I'm learning composition functions. So sweet. I am going to hopefully bring in some more questions on that. There is the unit circle, and on that, so I wouldn't say it's based off all of that, but yeah, it's a lot. That's a good one, Amy. I should actually make a video on that. I should. I think I actually have a video on that. Actually, I know I do. But yes, I know I do. Maybe go and take a look at just search that, like tips for solving trig identities, or verifying trig identities, or simplifying. I know I did some of those not too long ago. I probably need to redo them because I don't think they were that great, like the quality of the video and explanation, but I definitely have some on there for you. All right, let's go over to our favorite website over here for the YouTube random generator, and I am going to take my link, and we're going to do a little giveaway for the free 30-minute tutoring session. So again, all you have to do to go to week 137 live stream. Okay. Again, if you're wondering where's the link, it won't go to last week's live stream, and just post a comment. That's all you got to do. Post a comment. Hello, hi, thank you, cool, whatever you want to post. I used to do hashtag math help, but now we're just going to do whatever comment and back around there. And actually, I should go back into hashtag math help. Whatever. We'll do this. Just any other comment from on there. I kind of like always getting the random ones from there. And yeah, last week's live stream, again, not in this chat, but go to last week's live stream and just post a comment. Again, I also put that link in the description. So let's go and see what we're dealing with. Oh, I forgot to turn it on, so you guys know I'm not like hiding anything. Okay, there you go. YouTube random comment picker. And yes, it's going to be, that's actually not a bad idea. I could actually do it on my last video. Yeah, so then people are going to get a thing. That's a good idea. I'm going to do that. So I'm not going to do it on this one. I will do it on next live stream. I could post on there. Yeah, on a video. I'll post like a video, and then if you want some free tutoring, let me see actually. All right, I'll go through that later. I don't know why I'm talking. All right, ready? Let's go. All you got to do, last live stream. Here's the link. Free tutoring. Anything goes. Just post a comment. How many comments we got? You only got 8 comments. You got 1 out of 8 chance of being a winner. And the winner is Why Guy. I think this will fill the gap that I find in your content. Your content is awesome, and it's just not easy to find videos in a structured manner. That is absolutely correct. I have way too many videos, and it is so difficult to be able to find exactly that pathway. So that is one thing I am trying to correct. And hopefully, I know this comment has actually before. So hopefully, Why Guy, you might be on. I will respond back to your comment though, and because I greatly do appreciate that, and let you know that you got a free 30-minute tutoring. So yeah, just a FYI, guys, that I'm gonna change that up. So we'll change that up as far as getting the free tutoring, because I did a short today, and I'm thinking after the short I can just post a comment for you guys to go ahead and post on the comment for free tutoring. I think that would be awesome, and then I could do it on TikTok, stuff like that. Yeah, or on Instagram. I think I can still do Instagram. Yeah. Okay, cool. All right, whatever, I'll just do. Yeah. Actually, before I forget, I know there's some more math questions. If you guys do have some math questions, I will open that up for just a second. That you guys can go ahead and post your math questions there. And then, yeah, we'll get into some math questions. Oh my God, it's already so late. I guess I was talking so much about my pre-calculus course, which again, if you are taking pre-calculus this year, then you could definitely go ahead and if you're taking pre-calculus here and you want to make sure that you have the fundamentals kind of ready, you can obviously do my pre-calculus course, or diagnostic test, which is absolutely free. The link is in the description. Or if you actually want to go through a course and actually go through the curriculum of making sure you know everything you exactly need to know, then you can everything you exactly need to know. Then obviously I have a Get Ready for You pre-calculus course that is down below. Also in the description for you guys. All right, so let me go and find. Yes, awesome. Cool. All right, just had to make sure I responded, because I think last year there are people that I think just responded but never reached out to me, and then sometimes I'd forgot to comment, so I was like, all right, I'm just gonna get those people out. Well, awesome, Brianna. So happy to help you out. Well, hey, Prime Time, good to have you on. Thank you so much for joining in. And no, I do not have any OnlyFans. Sorry. And no, I mean, I will have some ways for you guys to post questions on, well, obviously for pre-calc problems. I mean, I will do a monthly pre-calculus stream. At least I'm planning on doing it. And then obviously if you're inside of my course, then obviously we have more tutoring options from there. So I guess that's kind of like OnlyFans. You're paying to get access to me. That's kind of what the course kind of works out as well. All right. So I'm now going to get into the math portion. We got the giveaway done. You guys had the opportunity to submit questions. We have some people that already pre-submitted some questions. Again, the Get Ready for Pre-Calculus course is in the description as well as in the chat. Now let's get to the fun stuff, which you guys have all been waiting for, which is the math. All right. Before I get to the math, I don't need that anymore. Let's see, some new questions came in. Let me just go and take a look at them real quick. See if I can add, because I can't handle. Do you have any tips? Algebra 2 tips? Yeah. I mean, Algebra 2 tips, same thing. Do your work, right? Listen to your teacher, ask questions when you struggle, find some people to do the problems with, and study with and do your homework with and everything else. There's no X on the road. How do you identify the starting point? Hey, Busy. I'm doing very well. Oh, that's a good one. All right, let's see if I can copy this. Please let me copy this. This is why I always like to do them before. For some reason, this computer has been iffy with me. It's not been allowing me to copy and paste. So let's see if it lets me here. so annoyed. Why? Okay. Graph f of x equals, so what's the student's question? If there is no x in the original function, how do you identify your starting point? Okay. Graph fx equals x equals -1. Okay. Well, we'll just do that. Oh, did I even bring my... Uh-oh. Ladies and gentlemen, we have a problem. Oh, no, there is. I didn't even have my tablet and everything else ready. So, so we're going to graph graph. All right, let's actually get through the problems that students submitted. We'll get to those people first, like Pori. I greatly appreciate you getting your question. And actually, I think you've sent it last week and I just didn't get time to do it. So I'll get to you guys first and then we'll go through any questions that have been submitted since then. Okay. All right. So this one says, given the functions f of x equals 1 minus x over x. So I'm going to rewrite this. So I have f of x equals a 1 minus x over x, and g of x equals a 1 divided by 1 plus x squared. Okay, find the following. So we're going to do compositions of functions. Okay, so compositions of functions. So if I gave you, let's say f of x equals x plus 1, right? And if I said, what is f of 2? You just replace 2 with the x, right? So you'd say that's a 2 plus 1. Okay, if I said, what is f of, let's say, v, what you're going to do is you're going to replace x with a v, right? So that's going to be a v plus 1. If I say, what's f of g of x, what are you going to do? You're going to replace g of x with the x, right? So it'd be g of x plus 1, right? So, I mean, all we're doing is whatever's inside of these parentheses, that is going to be what we're going to be plugging into that equation or to that system. So in this case, when I say what is g of f of x, what that is the same thing as saying is g of f of x. So what you're basically doing is plugging in the f of x into g of x. Now here's the interesting thing. What if g of x was equal to a x plus 7? Okay, just saying. So if I said, what is f of g of x? Well, what we're going to do then is we're going to say, we're going to plug g of x in for x. Well, if g of x is x plus 7, then you can simply say x plus 7 plus 1, right? And again, this is just I'm very confused because in the middle are both 1y. Not sure. Are you? Oh, you're talking. Oh, yours. Okay. You're talking about another equation, which you can submit to there and I'll get to it. But obviously people are helping you in the chat. So what we're doing, and Pori, let me know if this is not making sense to you. All we're simply doing is we are plugging this function into the other function, right? So when I say, what is g of f of x, basically all I'm saying is, all right, here's the g of x function. Whenever I see an x, that's where I'm going to plug in my f of x, right? So if I'm going to do, let's do a, g of f of x, right? Which is the same thing as g of f of x, which is the same thing as saying, all right, I'm going to plug in fx in for the x of my g function, which is going to be a 1 over 1 plus g of x squared, right? Now, what is g of x? I'm sorry, that was f of x. Crap, right? You're plugging fx into g of x. Fx is right here. So this is going to be a 1 minus an x over x quantity squared. Okay, now we need to square that. Well, then good. You're all set. Well, well, awesome. I'll have a course on pre-calculus if you want to be interested in doing that. You don't need to buy the get ready for pre-calculus, but it is designed to make sure you're successful throughout the whole year. So there's a ton of content to help you on for that. All right. So I'm not sure what else I'm assuming I don't know, Pari. Do you need to like fully simplify this or what? Let me know on that. Because I mean, I can go through the simplifying process for here, but basically I just want to simplify these. Now this one is a little bit interesting. This one is g of f of 2. Okay. So on this one, on g of f of 2, now let's just figure out what f of 2 is, right? What is f of 2? F of 2 is going to be a 1 minus an x over x, right? Sorry, that's f of x. All right, of course you need to fully simplify. All right, so f of 2 is going to be 1 minus a 2 over 2, right? You're just plugging in these values in for there. So 1 minus 2 is a negative 1, so that's a negative 1/2. Hey, Jim, thank you so much. Shibu Dog Sparkles. Well, I greatly appreciate your super chat. It's been a while since I've actually been super chatted on this channel. Thank you so much. I really appreciate that. All right, so let's do B. Let's actually move that over there. That feels really good. I appreciate that. Thank you so much. All right, there is B. All right, now simplifying. I don't want to like have a question take up like 30 minutes. So let's just try to simplify this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to rewrite my 1 as x squared over x squared. I'm not going to simplify this right now. I'm just going to square the top and the bottom. So therefore that's going to be a plus a 1 minus an x quantity squared all over an x squared. Okay, now those can go ahead and be combined. So therefore this is going to be 1 over a x squared plus a 1 minus x squared all over a x squared. And then you can just go ahead and multiply by the reciprocal, right? So if you kind of flip this over, then you're just going to have a x squared over a x squared plus, now let's go ahead and multiply this out. 1 minus x squared is going to be a 1 minus a 2 x plus x squared. Okay, so now I can combine my like terms here. I should have a x squared all over a 2x squared minus a 2x plus 1. So hopefully my brain's already starting to hurt. So hopefully I did all that simplifying correctly. This student had a question for solving for y. So we have x squared plus y squared equals 27. So that's the equation of a circle. So if you need to solve for y, like just isolate the y, right? And when we want to isolate, what we need to do is say, all right, what is happening to my variable? Well, it's being added by an x squared and where it's being squared. So first thing you're going to want to do is get rid of the x squared, and you have y squared equals a negative x squared plus 27, or you could just rewrite that the other way probably. That's usually we don't like the negative x squared, so 27 minus x squared. And then to solve for y, you're just going to take the square root of both sides. So y equals a plus or minus square root of 27 minus the x squared. And hopefully if you guys know the equation of a circle, you know that's not a function, right? So that's why you have that plus or minus. So you can't write it uniquely as a function of y. And thank you so much, Jim, for another one. I am University in San Francisco, and I still have to come back to these basics and pre-calculus. So thank you so much. I hope your kids appreciate it. Well, thank you so much, Jim. I greatly appreciate it. Why do I not pop up? Ta-da. There you go. Thank you again so much. I will be sending out an email on the tutoring probably by tomorrow, or yeah, by tomorrow from on there. So some students have some quicker deadlines, and so I'm trying to get to that. And then there's some new applications that have been coming, so I'm trying to get to everything really quickly. But yeah, I wanted to get everything done by the end of the month, which we are at the 28th, so we're getting pretty close. All right, this student was asking graph x equals 1, or like what was the starting point? I think that, let me like read their question again. If there is no x in the original function, how do we identify the starting point? Or, okay, so the other graph was like graph x equals 1, and then the other equation they had was what about f of x equals 4? Like, how do you graph those? Okay. Hey, thanks, Fracture Fox. I'm so happy to help you out. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at this. Graph x equals 1. So the main thing you guys got to understand, like when you're graphing, like especially on an XY table, I think so many students, Sassy, well, thank you so much. I'm starting Algebra 1. Do you have any tips for me? Yes, I do have some tips for you. Make sure that you are doing all of your work. Kind of easy, I know, basic. But again, like I also think being consistent with your study time, like find some time every single day that you can do some math. Whenever you get problems wrong, guess what? You are going to get problems wrong. Make sure you redo those problems until you get them right. Okay. Also, try to find some people that you can, work out with, that you can study with, that you can ask questions. And again, like, you are going to get confused. You are going to have questions. Make sure you stand up and ask those questions. That's the best advice I can give you, especially in Algebra 1, because if you can solidify that kind of work through, like, if you were watching the stream, or if you go back and watch this whole stream, I got asked that exact same question in geometry, or not geometry, actually, tonight. I do get a lot in geometry, but pre-calculus, foreign calculus, and everything else. And my answer is exactly the same. So I'm probably going to make a long form video for all of you guys. But yeah, it's the same stuff. How do I multiply the first equation by? I don't know, Claudia. I'm not watching your thing. Okay, so let's get back to the problem. So the main thing is, like, here's the x-axis, right? Okay, so like here's 0, and we go to the right. So if I had like x equals 1, right, you could say, oh, like x equals 1 is right there, right? Now, when we have the Cartesian coordinate plan, right, we have an x and we have a y axis, okay? Now, when x equals 1, like, how can you graph that on an xy axis? Well, it doesn't matter what y is. X is always equal to 1. So therefore, that's going to be what we call a vertical line. X equals 1 is what we call a vertical line, because no matter what value for x, no matter what value for y, x is always equal to 1, right? It could be like, I don't know, 1, 5. It could be 1, -2, right? It doesn't matter. X is always equal to 1. So y can be any value. That's why you're creating that vertical line. Now, in this case, we have function notation. And now function notation, without getting too deep into this, is really just another representation for the y-axis, right? The output axis. So in this case, we have y equals 4. So it's the exact same kind of understanding and kind of explanation I'd give you. Like, so here is the x-axis, right? That's the number line. Well, the y-axis is just a vertical number line. That's all it is. So when y is equal to 4, we just go to 1, 2, 3, 4. That's your starting point. That's the question you're asking. What is the starting point? The starting point is when y is equal to 4 on the y-axis, right? Or the x-axis, however you want to think about it. And guess what? Y is always equal to 4. Doesn't matter what x is, right? Here it could be, 2, 4. It could be -3, 4. Y is always equal to 4. So happy to be able to help you out. One last question. How do you... That is one that is, I will get to it. I'm probably not going to get to it tonight because I am tired, but I do have, I have a ton of explanations for that. If you go to my channel, like, I literally have just search like even odd functions. I have a ton of examples. There's a really good explanation graphically as well as thing, but you can definitely go ahead and submit it in for Q&A for next week. Or obviously, if you just look at my channel, I have playlists of probably like 30 videos of going over that. All right, let's get on to, I want to kind of finish off these questions that were submitted, at least this week, if I can. I'm not going to be able to get to everybody's question. Or not to every question. Can you tell me what I should do? It really means to get grades and honors pre-calc so I can get to AP Calc. Thank you. Yeah, awesome. So, if your main goal is like calculus, like, you got to go above and beyond. I really believe that, a lot of times I would teach pre-calculus honors. I mean, I think maybe honors pre-calculus is a little bit different. Like, we didn't have an honors and a standard pre-calculus. So it was a little bit different for me, where I had to kind of teach everybody pre-calculus without, like, not everybody was going into calculus that I taught. So I think it's a little bit different. But I really think you got to, here's the best advice I would say is doing the following tips. Like, when you don't understand something, when you get something wrong, just make sure you go back through it and like keep on redoing it until you get it better, right? Until you get it right. And I think also, like, keeping some consistent time that you can always be doing math and spiral reviewing is going to help you out, because the one thing that trips students up with pre-calculus, calculus, and all courses is that they forget stuff. So constantly be going back, redoing some older homework problems, redoing some older quizzes, some older tests. Always stay up, always stay current in those classes. I think that will really help you guys out. Okay. And when factoring trinomial, when A is way greater than 1 and C is also greater than 1, using the AC method without a calculator, how do you find the values that add to B value and multiply to C value? I have a tester and I don't want to particularly spend too much time on questions like that on the test. That's tough, because if you, like, the only thing I can tell you is like, you're like factoring, like, I mean, like, I don't know. Let me just do a problem here. Like, I have to make one up. So 5x times 3. What was I going to do? Yeah. And then let's do a, not that. What was I trying to do? I was going to do, yeah, I can do like a 3x plus 4. All right, let's do something like this. So this would be what, a 15x squared plus 20 minus 9. So that's plus 11x, right? Minus 12. Okay. Like it becomes difficult, right? Like, how do you know what the correct answer is? So like I would, the best advice I can probably do is like, just kind of go back to your factoring, like try to factor down, like try to get all the factors of 15, right? Write it out, right? Write out all the factors of 12. Like, I mean, I don't really think without being like doing a lot of math in your head, or being like having a lot of experience with that, there's not like some great tricks I can kind of give you. This is really one of those where experience is really, really going to help you out. The only two key factors I can really kind of, I think, help you with this is like, make sure you know the factors, have them all written out. Make sure you know all those factors, have them written out. Okay. All right. Now, oh yeah, that's what I was going to do. Yeah. Cause you want to do the AC method, right? So that's what the student was asking. Like, when I do the AC method, so 15 times 12 is 180. And it's like, all right, so if you're going to do the AC method, right? So you got to try to get 180 and multiply to get 180, but they got to add to 11, right? How do you know what the factors are? It's kind of crazy. So again, just like you did here, right? Notice what I did here, like this factoring method. You can do that for the AC method as well. Like, do take 180, right? And then just start dividing. Like, notice how when I broke down these numbers, I always started with the same number, right? If I did 180, right? So that's going to be 180 times 1. Let's do 90, right? Times 2. What about 3? Yeah, 60, right? Times 3. And then we could say 4. Oh, that's going to be 45 times 4. What about 5? And I should know 5. I don't know why my brain is always hurting. So let's do divide by 5. And that's going to be 36, right? So 36 times 5. And you can check that. And then you could go into 6. And that's going to be 30, right? I don't know. My brain. What am I? I can't even. 6? No. 180 divided by 6. My brain hurts. That's 30. Yes. So 30. And that's going to be times 6. Again, we're still not there, right? 7 doesn't look like it. 8 doesn't look like it. 9 though looks like it. So 180 divided by 9. Why can't I do that? That'd be 20, right? Yeah. There we go. So, and then 20 times 9. And look at that's going to have a difference of 11. Sorry, guys. I've been live for 108, so please give me a little bit of leeway there. So yeah, like that wasn't very quick or fast, and I do not recommend that you spend a lot of time on that, right? But you can see that using at least that AC method here, you have the 20x, and then that's going to be, I forget on the AC method. You want to create them with that, right? And then that's going to be plus a 9x. No, it needs to be minus a 9x. There you go, minus a 9x, right? Because you need to get to a positive 11x, and then minus 12. Okay, and then you can factor out, right? They're common factors. So here you could factor out a 5, and that's going to leave you with a 3x plus 4. And then here you can factor out a 3, and that's going to leave you with a 3x plus 4. And then you can factor out the 3x plus 4. And then you're going to be left with a 5x minus 3. Okay. Now, the only other thing that I would recommend, like when I first did this, is just remember another thing, like you can do that AC method. That's fine, right? Just try listing out the factors. That's probably, I mean, you're going to get, the more practice you do, the better you can do it in your head. Because obviously you don't want to waste your time doing all 3 of these. Like there's no point in me writing those out, right? There's absolutely no point because they don't even have a close to a difference of 11, right? So obviously you're trying to get somewhere around here, So, I mean, that just comes with some experience. But again, like the other thing I always like to do is like say, all right, well, we have 15, right? So 3x, I'm trying to multiply numbers of 12, factors of 12 and factors of 15 that are going to give me that difference of 11, right? And that just kind of comes with some experience from on there. All right, so there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Again, if you are interested in my Get Ready for Pre-Calculus course, go ahead and check the link in the description. It's also a pinned comment. And otherwise, I hope you guys have an excellent week, and I look forward to seeing you guys next week. All right, cheers.